Okay, now it's been a minute since we watched the Art of Dialogue. Reacted to some of this. Chopper recalls being shocked walking in on Freddie P and Sara. My view of married women changed. All about walking in on that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Because Sara was supposed to be the sweet one, and she's trying to relax. People smoking cigarettes. Cigarette smoke all in the tour bus. We thought she was quiet and sweet. We thought. You thought. Well, we'll see here. What's Chop talking about? What is he talking about?
And I don't know if this is true. This is something I heard behind the scenes. So, but I heard Sarah she was messing around with Freddie P.
Yeah, she did. Fred definitely knocked it down for sure. But
Fred.
that's how it all started, though. You heard me? That's how it all started, bro. It started with Fred knocking it down. That's when I looked at Sarah like a totally different type of woman. Because in my mind, growing up, you heard me? I thought like the married people were like 100 forever together. You dig? And Sarah, low key, high key, triple key, changed my perception of how I see women. You dig? And I hate to say that, yeah, but changed my whole perception. You know, because I remember Fred, you did, and Fred, don't judge me, baby. You know I love you, but you know Chop gonna keep it real. You know, and that was a wild life we had at that moment. So keeping it real and telling the history of our life, our journey is dope to me. So I'm going to say it. Fred was like, Chop. He's like, sit it, Sarah. I said, no, you didn't. He said, yes, I did. Nick. I said, no, you didn't. He was like, I did. I said, how much you want to bet? You ain't Sarah. He said, I'll bet my show money. And that's how me and Fred used to get down. Our bets used to be the show money with each other. So he was like, let's bet the show money.
How about
So I
that?
was like, all right, cool. So the next city we went to, you heard me, the deal was this here. Fred was going to leave a latch so it could be compatible with the door so I can be able to walk in, you know.
Oh, door unlock.
And if I walk in and see it, I lost the bet. And basically that's exactly what happened. We went to another city. We was actually in New York City. We stayed in a hotel. And Fred texted me, and back in the G, it used to be sidekicks. Remember sidekicks?
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
Oh, that's going way back.
Yeah, Fred hit me on my... Yeah, that was the... You hear me? But Fred hit me on the sidekick and was like, Nick, I'm in the room. Come on, I left the latch open for you. So I'm excited. I ain't gonna count with you, brother. I'm excited, you did, because I always wanted to see Sarah naked.
Chop, you dirty dog.
I did. So I'm coming over there. I'm creeping, you did. I'm creeping.
Sarah is cute now, though.
I open the door. I come creeping through the door. I turn right. You did. I pass the bathroom. You heard me. I go right. Sarah tearing this nigga up, son. I'm talking about getting the shit out of Fred. And Fred, she riding Fred, and Fred looking at me, and he's sucking his dumbish. I was joked out, son. You heard me? And,
wow.
And then Sarah, I made a mistake and walked backwards, you dig? And when I walked backwards, it was probably some M&Ms, you heard me, or some Skittles, you dig? And I made a mistake and stepped on it, and Sarah looked back and jumped out. Fred was like, oh my God, you know, and
made some noise. She probably heard the noise. Probably made a, like you step on chips or garbage on the floor, make like a crunch sound, and probably heard the noise. But I don't know about this man. Walking in, peeping around the corner, okay, open up the door. This man's old girl's riding him like a horse. Know about that. Like what's her name said, ride the horse. Know about that. And she gets freaked out. That's something there. Cause I remember the making the band. I remember the first season was the training camp. Yeah, the first season was the training camp. Second season, they was getting picked out to who's gonna be the six in the group. In the third season, they went around on the tour. And the second or third season, they moved into the house. I think it was the second season, but anyway, trying to remember now. I remember I had it all. I recorded every episode on VHS tape. That because it's early 2000s, it was still VHS tapes, DVDs, and all that crap was expensive. But Sarah was in was it the Source or King magazine? One of the magazine anyway. And Chop, you want to be talking. I remember he was like, "Damn this." I remember the episode like, "Damn, Sarah looking sexy, boy." And Fred looked at it and kept walking. Like he was like, "Okay." And so now to hear this is something. Because he looked at the magazine for like 2 seconds, and Fred was like, "Okay," and he kept walking. And so that's something hearing all this. This is some shit here.
Out of wall, I'm like, Sarah said, bro, it's all gravy. I don't care. I was like, I already know. She said, you already knew? I said, yes. Fred said he already done it before. Fred, you running your mouth, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, Fred used to knock Sarah down for sure. Yeah, face the shot of Sarah. No doubt about it. Tell her. Fred loves Sarah, dog. He used to love Sarah. Facts.
Why they didn't make it official?
Because Sarah was married. Mm-hmm. How you gonna make something?
And the husband used to show up, dude. I remember that.
You did. And her husband would have gone and tried to kill her. He would have found that out. But we kept that a secret a long time around y'all. We did as long as we could. You heard me? But everybody know Fred was knocking it down. Believe that. Facts. But Fred, what really happened though? Fred started feeling the way. You know, when Diddy started knocking it down, Fred was just.
Diddy.
Fred wasn't feeling that.
Okay.
He gonna say he don't remember when Diddy knocking it down and started feeling the way, but he was knocking it down and Fred started feeling the way. So that was enough. That was the end of the Fred and Sara era, you know, when Diddy started just facts.
And Chop, didn't you?
Sarah and Freddy P was messing around. I remember.
And Chop, didn't you like what's the girl's name, Babs, or was that just for the show? He said you got kind of tight when Juvie showed up. That's your dog. That's from your backyard. And then he showed up. Only went on a date. Now he was kind of tight about that one.
Making a band, her husband, he used to come on the show. Was they messing around at that time too?
No, absolutely not. I think, in my opinion, I think her husband knew what was down with Sarah as a person. So I think that he was trying to protect her. Protect her from embarrassing herself. Mm-hmm. And that's just my opinion. He was trying to protect her from embarrassing herself, which eventually ended up happening anyway, because the more that he wasn't around is the more she started doing her. Because I'm starting to feel like, she was probably trying to run from him. You dig? So when he wasn't able to be in control on making the band like how he's normally in control, obviously in her life, you know, she was running like a free slave. And she was cutting the fuck up because obviously she must hated her life back then. But in my opinion, I think it's my opinion, and I don't do no capping. You dig? I think that her husband at that time, he done everything right for her. You know, laced her up. He took care of her. You know, Sarah didn't come into the band struggling. You know, she came into the band with money. Sarah already had buku money, and you know they hold a wiggle. They had money.
So
Sarah ain't have a worry in the world.
So she was straight.
I think that he was just trying to protect her from embarrassing herself, which she ended up doing anyway. So yeah, that's what happened. The more they got Sarah's husband away from him, was the more Sarah was able to kind of thought out a little bit. You hear me? Facts, but that's just my opinion. Say, bro, after I seen Sarah do all that deal, I couldn't look at women the same way, and that sucks. But it just made me look like, damn, even a married woman be out here cutting up, and that maybe it did traumatize me. Mind you, I was a young dude. I wasn't over 21. I wasn't none of that. I was young, so I seen a lot of shit growing up, but I never seen a married woman cut up like that. I never seen it. You dig? And that made me say, damn, even a married woman. I think married women sometimes be the worst ones. Yikes. Mm-hmm. Yikes.
Chop wasn't feeling that now. That's something there, boy.
This is what I...
Whew, boy, that's something there. Chopper seen something. But still, Chop, what about you and see you and Bailey. Yeah, and about Bailey. You and yeah, I guess that was just for the Babs thing. I guess that was just for the show. But man, I bet you I did something. Watch this. He said, come back tonight. I'll show you. Next thing you know, walked in and seen something. That is something, boy. Because I know, remember on the show, Fred and Sara was cool. 'Cause I remember in the beginning, like nobody wanted to work with her because she was the only singer. Because Dylon was reggae, and everybody else was like rap. So yeah, and he said he want to leave her hanging by herself, which is kind of wrong. Nobody leaving your partners to hang. No about that. Your group members to hang. But yeah, but that is something. Man, say how much you want to make up it? I bet you this tour money. I done did it. And I was like, yeah, you ain't did shit. Next thing you know, yeah, he he said he seen it all, everything.